Have you ever wondered why some paintings instantly feel vibrant and alive while others look a little dull or muddy even when the drawing is correct? The secret often is the color relationship. So today we are going to look at one of the most powerful color theory, that is the complementary colors, and see how they can completely transform your painting. Let's start with the color wheel. Artists use the color wheel to understand how colors interact with each other. You might have heard the terms like analogous colors, monochromatic colors, or complementary colors. Analogous colors sit next to each other on the wheel and create harmony. Monochromatic colors are the different shades of the same color, and there are many more. But today we are focusing on complementary colors. Colors that sit opposite each other on the color wheel, and when used correctly, they can make your artwork look more vibrant, more realistic, and much more interesting. So, for today's example, I have drawn two simple pumpkins. Pumpkins are naturally orange, and if we look at the color wheel, the color opposite orange is blue. That means blue is the complementary color of orange. So instead of just using the darker orange or the black for shadows, we must introduce the blue tones to create richer, more natural shadows. And yes, for the leaves, which are green, the complementary colors lie between red and violet range. These colors can be used subtly in the shadows area to create the depth. Now let's start with the first version of pumpkin. So here I am painting it in a way many beginners naturally do, using yellows, orange, red, brown and black. The leaves are painted with simple green shades. Technically it works. The pumpkin will be clearly visible. But if we look closely, the shadows feel a little muddy and the overall painting will look quite flat. That's because using the black to darken colors often kills the vibrancy. It dulls the color instead of enriching it. And that's exactly where complementary colors comes in. Now, let's paint the pumpkin again, but this time using complementary color theory. Instead of jumping straight into orange, I start by laying in soft blue tones where the shadows will be. This might look strange at first. You might question blue on a pumpkin, but trust the process. These cool tones will later interact with the warm orange layers and create beautiful depths. Once the blue base is dry, I begin adding yellow and orange on top. Notice how the color starts to glow rather than look flat. The blue underneath naturally deepens the shadow without making them dirty. I continue slowly building the layers, adjusting the highlights with warm yellows and strengthening the midtones with orange and red. One very important tip when working with lead colored like this: let each layer dry before adding the next one. If you rush and paint over wet layers, the colors will mix too much and you will lose the beautiful contrast between warm and cool tones. Patience here makes a huge difference in the final result. For leaves, instead of only darker green, I am introducing the touches of red and violet in the shadow areas. This subtle contrast makes the green appear much more vibrant. Once everything dries, don't forget to put in the highlights with the white pen because it's a very important step to make it look very real. Now, when we compare the two pumpkins side by side, you can clearly see the difference. The first one looks flat and slightly muddy, but the second one, built using the complementary colors, feel brighter, deeper, and more realistic. The form of pumpkin stands out and the shadow feels natural rather than heavy. So, next time you paint, try this simple trick. Instead of reaching for the blacks to create shadows, just use the complementary color wheel. Happy painting! Ciao!